welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for still watching. I hope you're enjoying my videos and I hope to keep them coming. We have just got 5 weeks left until we meet our baby boy. So today I thought I would speak a wee bit about baby names, because names have always been such a big thing. It's something that everyone talks about. It's the first thing everyone asks you when they find out that you're pregnant. We thought of names. It was just something that I get asked every single time somebody talks to me about it. So I just thought that I would do a wee video about names. And it's something that me and my friends always talk about and have spoke about before any pregnancies even came about. It's just something that you always talk about with your friends and always discuss. Today I thought I would do a video about names that I really love but I'm not going to use. I'm just going to do boys' names because we're having a boy. I thought about girls' names right back at the very beginning when we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, but I've not really thought about them since, and I obviously don't know what I would use if it was a girl. So I'm just going to do boys' names today, that ones that we have had on the list and off the list and on the list and off the list. Ones that me and Jack have maybe discussed and maybe I've ruled out or he's ruled out, but ones that in general we've come up with, that we've discussed, that we did like and we have really liked and that we've thought about but just haven't made the cut. We at the moment don't have one set exact name for the baby. We have about 2 or 3 that we really like, that we're keeping to ourselves just now. And we've agreed finally that we both quite like these ones, and I don't want to go in with a set name in my head because I think I would just be so disappointed if when I seen him he just didn't look like the name that I had in my head. So I think I want to go in with 2 or 3, and then hopefully when I see him we'll just know. Hopefully when both of us see him we'll just know. I'm not going to include those names obviously in the list, but I do have a list of about 10 names here right next to me that we do love but we're just not going to use. So without further ado, I will get started on them on the list. I've always been, always, you can ask all my friends, I have always been that person who just likes weird names, like really strange names that whenever I've said to people that that's what I like, people have been like, no, you cannot call your child that. So that was always before I found out I was pregnant. I was always like coming out with names like Matrix. My friends are always like, no, you can't do that. I still love that name, to be perfectly honest with you. However, I think when you find out you're pregnant and you know that it's actually going to be happening, you kind of, something in your mind just kind of makes you think, oh, right, I'm going to have to think of something a wee bit more normal than that. Something just not quite as out there. Plus Jack would never ever have let me call our baby boy Matrix, although I do still love the name. That's not one of the ones that's on my list. That's just an example of how weird I sometimes go with the names that I like. So I'll just get started. So, this is exciting. First name on my list that I personally love this. It didn't come up until it didn't come up at the very start. I didn't love it from the beginning. I didn't even think about it at first. It didn't come up until definitely way after halfway through the pregnancy. I came up with it. Well, I didn't just come up with it, I just heard it and I liked it. And then it grew on me and I loved it, and I was set at one point that this was my baby's name. Jack was never really on board fully with it. He liked it, but he was just like, I don't know if that's my son's name. So the name is Jonah. I've done some research into all these names. So that comes from Hebrew and it means dove, which I just thought was so cute. Yeah, that was just one of the ones that it just grew on me and I just loved it. I just thought Jonah was such a lovely name. Jack was never fully convinced on it, so I think it was just one of those ones, it was never really going to be, it could never really have been the name because Jack wasn't fully convinced. So eventually I just kind of got over it, if you like, but I did really love that name, Jonah. So plus you don't really hear it much. I think that's why I liked it. There's a few, obviously there's Jonah Hill, but you don't hear it hundreds, which I like. Personally, I would like something that you maybe don't hear every day. Whereas Jack, this is why we had a lot of issues at the start. Jack likes names that are much more traditional. That's why he would never ever go one of my weird and wonderful ones, which I do have a couple of my weird and wonderful ones on this list, but they were just ruled out straight away by Jack. But I like kind of weird names. So Jonah was the first name that we really liked, but we decided against it. The next name on my list is Dawson. I looked up this meaning as well, and it just means son of Lawrence. So it's nothing major exciting about the meaning of that name. However, I do love it. Jack kind of thought it was more of a second name. He just wasn't keen on Lawson Thomas. I think he thought it was maybe too Lawson Thomas. He wasn't fully convinced. He likes the name, he just wasn't fully convinced on it, and I thought it was really cute. But again, I really liked it, but I don't know if I was ever fully like, yeah, that is my baby's name. So Lawson was one of the other ones that we really liked, but it has been taken off the list, the official list. One of the names that had been on the list pretty much from the start was Matthew / Matty, because my friends really love traditional names. So when they were coming out with things like Matthew and George, and I was like, they're just a wee bit too normal for me. I like really weird names. But Matthew was one of the ones that I was quite like, I actually do like that as a name. One of my favourite bands is the 1975, and the lead singer from the 1975 is called Matthew Healy. So I kind of thought that would be quite nice. Jack loves Matty. He was really keen on Matthew to begin with, both loved it to begin with, but after it, I think it had been on the list for way too long, discussed for way too long. We discussed it with so many people, and then after a while it just got a bit like, I'm going off that a wee bit now, are you? Yeah, it was just a wee bit, I think it had just been there from the beginning, and then we kind of just decided against it because of that. But he wasn't as keen on Matthew as he was on Matty, but he didn't want to put Matty on the birth certificate. He would have wanted to put Matthew on the birth certificate but just call him Matty, which would have been fine. I wouldn't have minded that at all. But I think after a while we just kind of both decided that we'd just been on the list for too long, been thinking about it for too long, talked about it too much, and just decided against it really. But it is a name that we both still do really love. One of the other names that my friends actually came up with one day when we were all just chilling, and it is nice, but I don't think, these are mostly names that I like, by the way, that Jack didn't really, and I don't feel bad for doing this, because if he wants to do a vlog of names that he really liked, he liked things like Jacob. I do have one on here, the next one actually, which was one of his suggestions but I said no to, but most of these are my suggestions that he said no to. The next one, yeah, that my friends came up with was Lane. I don't think I know MD with the name Lane. A boy called Lane. And at first I was like, no. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, Lane Thomas. I like that. That's quite cute actually. The Lane Thomas. And whenever I wrote it out, I was like, oh, that's lovely. But Jack wasn't ever really fully up for it. I don't know if I actually ever was either, to be honest. I just really liked it, but I don't know if I was ever like, that is my baby's name. But Lane, that was quite a nice one. So the next one on the list were two of Jack's names that he loved. So Jack's favourite names right from the outset, he likes names that end in a Y or an IE. He thinks they go really well with his last name Thomas. So he liked Frankie, Freddie and Joey. Most of the time it was mostly Frankie and Freddie, and then he narrowed it down just to Freddie. Freddie was his name that he was like, that's my favourite, please, can it be on the list, can it be? even a middle name. Like he just loved that name, Freddie. I love it as well. I think it's so cute. I've seen a lot of wee boys called Freddie. I think it's such a cute name. It is, it's lovely. I think I just know too many wee Freddies, like wee boys called Freddie, and I think it's so cute, and Jack loves it. Jack was obsessed with it, but eventually I was just like, it's just not my baby's name. It's so cute and I love it, and I love seeing wee boys called Freddie and hearing it. It's so sweet, and I think it's one of those names as well, it suits every age. It's cute as a baby, it's cute as a wee boy, it's cute as a teenager, Freddie, and then an adult and an old man as well, Freddie. I think it's such a cute name. It's a lovely wee name. It just wasn't ever one that I was like, okay, yeah, I love it. I just really liked it, but I was never ever definitely sold on it. But Jack loved it. He's kind of came around though. He's kind of starting to agree with me now on that. Like there's just other names now that we much prefer, so he's kind of let it go a wee bit. The next name was my favourite name ever from pretty much the outset. It was one of the kind of weirder ones though that Jack was just not sold on at all from the outset. Like the minute I said it, he was like, no. He was like, I'm not having a wee boy with that name. But I love it personally. I just think it's so nice, it's so lovely, it's so cute. And it was River. River. A lot of my family as well, like when I told my cousins and my brother and that, they were all like, no. I think it's one that girls would like it, maybe, but boys wouldn't want a son called River. I don't know. Jack thought it was a girl's name. I really liked it for a boy though. It reminds me of River Phoenix, the actor that died. I just think it's a lovely name, River. I like River Phoenix to be fair, but River Thomas, I thought River Thomas was lovely, but Jack was just never up for it. Right from the minute I said that I wanted River, he was like, nope. So I had to kind of just make peace with that. It was never really made it onto the actual combined list. It was on my personal list, but it never made it onto the combined list because Jack just put his foot down straight away. It was like, nope. But I just thought, River. Maybe it is a wee bit girly the more I think about it, but I just love it for a boy. River Thomas. I just think it's really nice. The next one. What's this number? Next one, number 7, was Joshua. Now this reminds me, I don't know if anybody watches Friends. I would hope to God that most people do, or have seen it at least. Me and Jack are Friends fanatics, obsessed. And this just reminds me of Rachel's boyfriend, but at first she just had a huge big crush on him, Joshua. And like me, she wasn't really keen on Josh, but she loved Joshua. This is one of the reasons that it came off the list. Josh was okay. Joshua I really liked, but I didn't want it to be shortened, and I know that people would shorten that. But yeah, it just reminds me of Rachel from Friends whenever she was like, Josh, Joshua. But I think in my head, every time I hear the name Joshua, that's what I would think of. That name, I looked up that as well, that's biblical as well, comes from Hebrew meaning salvation. And I like that. I still really love the name Joshua, and so did Jack. I just wouldn't have wanted it to have been shortened to Josh. I don't know why. Joshua is just really cute. Joshua Thomas. So cute. But I know that it would get shortened to Josh. Okay, number 8 was Logan. So this means little hollow, which I didn't know actually, but that's really sweet. Little hollow, Logan. I love the name Logan. I think it's so cute. We're actually watching Suits just now as well, me and Jack, and there's a guy called Logan in it, and I keep saying, oh, I like that name Logan, but I just don't think it's my baby boy's name. I think it's a really sweet name. I just don't think it's my son's name, but Jack really likes it as well. It's one of the ones that we did speak about. We both really like it, but just don't think it's my son's name. But yeah, little hollow, that's what that means. I think it's quite cute. Logan Thomas. The next one, number 9, was Asher. this is one, Jack never really liked this. And me and my friends all absolutely loved it. It means blessed and happy. I think it's so cute, Asher Thomas. I love that name. Jack was just not as keen on it at all. Again, that was just one of the ones that I kind of brought it up to him and he was just like, I don't know, nah, don't think so. Again, never really made it too far up the conjoined list, but it was definitely on my personal list, Asher. And the last name is, this is one of my weird and wonderful ones that Jack just absolutely put his foot down to and said absolutely no way. Number 10, Ziggy. I love the name Ziggy. If MD watched Big Little Lies when that was on, it was the kind of drama series with like Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Shailene Woodley, Zoe Kravitz, had loads of folk in it. One of the wee boys in it, Shailene Woodley's son in it, was called Ziggy. And I just thought it was so cute. He was actually played by the same person that plays young Sheldon, if anybody knows who that is. So Ziggy, he was called Ziggy in it, and just from the minute, like I watched that years ago, and when I watched it I was like, Ziggy, that's such a cute name, and I love it. And quite a lot of other people that I've spoke to about it have been like, that's so nice, and it is a bit different, you don't hear it every day, but that's what Jack just didn't like about it. I don't think my dad ever really liked it either, but I liked it. But I suppose it's one of those things, doesn't really matter what other people think, but it definitely matters about what me and Jack both think, and he just didn't like it. He said that he thought it would be a cool nickname, but not actual a cool name, full name. He just kept saying things like, what about he's like in his 20s and he's going for an interview? And I was like, no, I get that, I get what you're saying, but it's 2020 and everyone's kind of calling their kids something a wee bit different, so by the time he's older and he's going for his interviews, everyone will kind of have weird names. So I don't think it will be really that like looked at as if it's weird, because it's not a weird name, it's a nice name. Ziggy Thomas. I loved it anyway, but Jack was just never ever keen on it. But my first two that I said to Jack were River and Ziggy, and he said no. Ziggy was taken off the list. I think the main thing about names is that it's a big compromise and you need to both agree, and I think that's why me and Jack had a lot of kind of disagreements at the start, because he likes traditional names and I like really weird names. Neither of us were going to cave, and we couldn't even find any names that were sort of in the middle, that were like kind of traditional but also kind of unique. And I just thought, oh my god, this baby's never going to have a name. He's just going to never ever have a name, and that's it. Or one of us is just going to hate his name and that's just going to be it. And we spoke about it a lot at the beginning, and then see for the majority of the middle of the pregnancy we completely did not speak about names at all, because it always just caused arguments. We always just disagreed on it and ended up, I would just go in a huff or something, so we didn't speak about it for ages. And then obviously we've had to start kind of speaking about it again recently, and we both kind of came around on each other's thoughts and feelings towards it. There's now one or two that we've decided, like there's kind of ones that, that's what I think's the other thing about names, like there's ones that you hear maybe at the start and you're like, oh no, I don't like that at all, but then further on you might be like, do you know, that's actually grown on me. Or the other way about, you might have ones at the start that you absolutely love, and then throughout your pregnancy you just go completely off it, because that's happened as well quite a lot. So I think it's just one of those ones that you can't overthink it and talk about it too much and stuff. We have definitely narrowed it down now to a couple that we quite like, that we are hopefully just going to wait and see when he's born which ones absolutely stand out. We are definitely open to suggestions between now and the baby being born, for any other ones that we might quite like. But at the moment we just have like one or two that we're like, right, we quite like those, we'll just not talk about it and we'll just see what happens, and when he comes out hopefully we'll just both look at him and be like, yes, that's it, that's his name. But those were my list of 10 boys' names that we absolutely loved and we had discussed and that had been on the list and then been taken back off and we're not going to use. comments. So some of them were mine, some of them were Jack's suggestions, some of them were both liked. So it was Jonah, Lawson, Matthew / Matty, Lane, Frankie and Freddie, River, Joshua, Logan, Asher and Ziggy. I hope that somebody that's watching this, that's going to maybe have a boy soon, is getting some really good ideas, because I know that I watched hundreds of these types of videos when I found out I was pregnant, baby names that people like but aren't going to use, and it was just to get ideas, because there was some things that I just hadn't even thought of. And then when I watched more and more of these videos, I was like, oh, that's nice. It's just different ways of getting ideas, isn't it, rather than just googling baby names. So I'm hoping that people might get some inspiration from this, or somebody might just have my baby's name at the tip of their tongue, and they might want to message me and tell me what they think it should be. If you do, if you have any suggestions, we are completely open and welcome to suggestions, so you can just let me know, message me. I'll be happy to take suggestions. I am absolutely 100% sure that when this baby comes, he will have a name that hopefully you guys will all love as much as me and Jack will, and all our family and friends will love it. And we'll do a wee introductory video of the baby and what his name is and how we come up with it and why we decided that. We'll just need to wait and see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been enjoyable, I hope it's been interesting. I know that I personally love watching videos like this with other people, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. And please like and subscribe. Also, thank you so much for all the love and comments and nice messages and everything. Keep them coming, and I will see you on the next video. Also, if anybody's got any suggestions about what they want to see between now and me actually having the baby, please just let me know. Give me a wee message, a wee comment. And 5 weeks to go. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.